Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 2 of In the AM with Angel and
Mia.
How's your day going, Mia?
It's alright, I'm tired.
I'm tired. So, I hope you guys, if you guys didn't, check out the first video. It should be up before this one. Go ahead and check that introductory video. Just a little recap. Basically, who we are. We're Angel and Mia, young adults, married, 23 years old, and we're about to have
Our first baby.
our first baby. So we just we feel like we have some things to say, so we're going to head and put it on the internet. That's what every good young
Christian couple does.
Christian couple does, give their opinions. Theological opinions without a theology degree. The great thing about us is half of us have a theology degree. So we're biblically sound.
I hope. I paid all that money for what?
So today, everybody, the conversation that we want to have today is about becoming parents. Mia's around a little bit before halfway through the pregnancy. That's why she has a blanket. No, I'm just kidding. But we are very excited to become parents. We're also stereotypical. We got married after 7 months of dating. Right?
We got married in 11 months.
Yeah.
10 months.
Yeah, so we started dating in December of 22.
Mm-hmm.
Got engaged by July of 23.
And then was married May 24.
And married in May of 24.
And then got pregnant January 25.
25. Yeah, so Angel's tax returns look completely insane. It's single, married, child, dependent. So it is what it is. IRS is probably like, what the heck is this guy doing?
There's worse people out there.
True, right? There's probably like 7 kids. But we are as one might say, the stereotype. We are you get a ring. What is it? You get a ringer degree in college?
Ring by spring.
A ring by spring, yeah. So we are the basics.
Yeah.
The average Christian young couple. We're the stereotype.
Neither of us thought we were going to be the stereotype.
Yeah, we're like, we'll have kids like when we're 30. We did not indeed have kids by 30. So here we are today. But today's conversation is going to be basically just the conversation of us just pouring out our thoughts on becoming parents. So, yeah. Get some popcorn. Get some coffee. As we have our own. I don't know if you can see them. Hope you guys enjoy. So, Mia, what are your thoughts on becoming pregnant before your first year of marriage?
I think at first I think we were both like really caught off guard.
Yeah.
Because I think, right, like, I like had all like these health conditions like going on, and then like in October, like, the doctor told us like I couldn't have kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think like, come January or come February, like we find out like, we're pregnant, and I'm just like, what the heck? Like I was just like so like so thrown off guard. And then I think like, the fact that it happened like before we had hit like a year of marriage, like I think that was the one thing I didn't want. Like I didn't want to be like that stereotypical Christian, like, that has kids right away. Like that was like my biggest, like, I don't want to do that. But then I think we really struggled with it. Like I think honestly, like if we're going to be honest, I think we really struggled with the idea of becoming parents like so young.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we both really wanted to like have like time to ourselves, like,
Yeah.
And especially if we've only been married for, only married for
at the time, was that 9 months?
9 months. Yeah. So I think we were both like really like disappointed because we wanted like, to do things like with each other, and like wanted to go like on these trips and stuff. Like we had plans for just the two of us, and like now we're like, oh my God, now there's a baby. Yeah. And like I think we weren't like prepared at all. But then I think like, I shared it with you, like I think I like really, like it really hit me like that time, like I was driving home from like visiting my family or something, and I saw that like billboard that was like saying like when life began. And I think like our baby was like already past like that like life mark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think like when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Like, like I think I got really convicted. Like I think the Lord really convicted me. That was like that he told me, like, you know, how selfish I was being. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're being selfish because you want to what? Like, go on vacation or do
Yeah.
this, or you don't want the responsibility of being a mom. Like, I think I just got really, really convicted, like, really easily. And I was like, wow, like, you know, like this, like, you know, this blessing that, like, we feared, like, we never were going to have kids. Like, now here we are, and, like, we're kind of, like, dreading it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
we feared that we were never going to have kids. And then, you know, God gives
And
us
then
a
we're over
baby.
here rejecting the
Yeah,
blessing.
and we're just like, what the heck? We don't want the baby. So I feel
Baby's
like,
like, I don't want you.
so I feel like that, like, conviction, like, hit me, like, really, really hard. That I was like, oh, like, you know, who am I to deny this blessing, right? Like,
Sure.
like, you know, this little, like, baby in my stomach, like, it already has a heartbeat. Like, I think that's what hit me. Like, how can I, like, deny, like, you know, such a beautiful blessing that,
Yeah.
like, you know, we feared we were never gonna have.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like, now I feel like more, I feel like now I feel more confident, like, from that, like, time and, like, prayer and stuff. Like, I feel more confident, like, okay, God, like, I know this isn't what we wanted, but, you know, ultimately at the end of the day, like, your will be done, like, whatever it is. And, you know, even, like, the timing of when we found out, like, we were gonna have a baby, like, I think it came exactly when my heart needed it.
Exactly when your heart needed it. Very nice. Yeah, I think even for me, definitely was a shock, because it's weird, because, you know, we've always wanted kids, but yeah, I think it was that selfish mindset that we both had, where it's like, no, like, we want to be selfish with each other right now. But one of the, I mean, I've already told you this, but one of the biggest person that actually changed my whole perception on having a baby was one of the IT guys that work at my bank, where I work, and he, you know, he's a little bit older than I, and he was talking about how he's always wanted to have kids within, like, his early to mid 20s, because he doesn't want to be an old dad. He wants to basically grow up with his kids. And I was like, what do you mean by grow up with your kids? He goes, yeah, like, you know, you guys are basically coming up together. And I didn't really think about it, but when I did, you know, my dad and me are 20 years apart. I'm 23. He just turned 43. And, you know, like, things like, we went to Disney World, I think, a few years ago, 2-3 years ago, and my dad got on the roller coasters with us, right? And it's like, oh, yeah, like, if you're an older dad, that might not be, you know, an option for you, just because, you know, whatever, any complications or whatnot. Not saying that you can't be a dad that goes on roller coasters or do these, you know, things with your kids, but, you know, the more you get older in age, it might be a little bit more difficult. And I realized, I was like, yeah, like, actually, I was like, oh, yeah, like, by the time I'm 43, my kid will be 20 years old, you know? And it's like, oh, yeah, like, that's not bad, you know? And then I was like, oh, yeah, like, you know, he was talking to me, and I was like, well, yeah, I guess you're right, you know, I guess there's really nothing bad about being a young dad. And that is cool, because now I can, you know, I still have to be, you know, I have to be the dad that still beats their kids, like, in all the games or whatnot. So, you know, I have to keep up. But definitely that was a big wake up call for me. Just not, you know, being a dad that's, you know, physically present, but then just, you know, I am still youthful enough to do those things, and that was a big mind switch for me, where I had to, like, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, like, that makes a lot of sense, and I'm okay with it now. But yeah, it was a few weird, like, month and a half for us where we, like, dreaded it.
Yeah.
And then it was just like a flip switch.
Yeah, like, we didn't talk about it. Like,
Yeah,
we didn't say anything about it. And then I feel like we both, like, kind of just, like, got to this point that we're like, okay, like.
Yeah, I think God just exposed it to us. Like, really?
Yeah.
You're going to turn on my blessing? I was like, oof, you're right.
Yeah, I think we're like, well, what are we supposed to do now? Like, there's nothing else we can do.
It's like, gosh, I have a kid? Which,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's like, it was going to happen either way.
Yeah.
And we know each other so well. We've known each other since we were 17.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's like, okay. You know, technically speaking, it's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 6 years. I guess it's time for us to have a baby. I guess. I suppose, God, if you think it's the right timing. Yeah. 100% though. I would say it was scary, especially because we were younger, but I think now we just fully gave it to God.
Yeah, and then I feel like I was really, like, scared of, like, what people were going to say.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I was scared, like, you know, like, like we were gonna get those comments like, oh, you stereotypical Christians, or like even because when we got like engaged, like a lot of people like, you know, had something to say about it, like
Sure.
that we were like rushing it or it was too early, and then like, are you sure? And then I feel like now it's like, you know, like I was just worried like what people are gonna like say or like think about it. And I think I'm just like, well, now like, I mean, it doesn't really matter what people say, like
I'm locked in.
yeah. Like I can't really do anything else about it.
What do I do now?
Like be happy, or I guess take a hike.
Yeah. It's like, okay, you're not happy for us? Cool.
Yeah.
You want to buy something off our registry? Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Another portion of childhood that, you know, and I mean by childhood is like, I think I've always had this perception of like how I wanted to be as a dad. And I was like, I don't think I'm there yet, especially like for a child being raised. Like, am I going to provide, you know, the best childhood for them or whatnot? I think that was also a big thing for me. And it's like, I don't know if I'm ready, right? But, you know, and we've always talked about it. A lot of people say it. You never know when you're ready. It just happens. And we'll see what happens. Right? But the thing is, like, there's no fear attached to it either. It's just like I have to learn. Like, even though I don't feel ready, the Lord will still provide in whatever absences that I might have. You know, definitely try to still better myself through that process and that, you know, in this period of waiting. But definitely learning to give it to God where I feel that I lack of, wherever I may lack of. You know.
How did you feel after we found that it was a girl?
How did I feel? What?
After we found that it was a girl.
How did I feel after I found out it was a girl? Angel was correct.
I told you so.
I told Mia. I told all my family.
I knew it was going to be a girl.
No, they didn't.
I was in denial.
Listen, she might have the kid. She didn't know what it was.
I did.
I knew what it was. I knew. I've always wanted to be a girl dad. I've always wanted to be a girl dad. Not saying that I wouldn't mind having a boy, or, you know, despite having a boy, I would love to have a little boy, but I've always wanted to be a girl dad. Everybody. My mom. Her mom. My mother-in-law.
No, my mom said it was a girl.
Oh, she did?
Everyone else is saying boy.
I thought she said boy, but fine. We'll give it to her.
My mom said girl. Wanted it to be a boy. I really wanted it to be a boy.
Yeah.
But I knew it was going to be a girl because my brothers all have girls.
Yeah.
So I already figured I was going to be a girl, but I was just really in denial because I just...
It's not a boy.
I really wanted it to be a boy. But I think when I found out it was a girl, like, I think I was just like freaked out because, like, I thought, like, how am I supposed to raise a girl? Like, you know, like, my entire childhood I struggled, like you know, with, like, being, like, with girlhood and, like, femininity.
Sure.
And I was like, how am I supposed to teach a girl how to be a girl? Like, I don't know how to be a girl. Like,
I am not a woman.
Like, yeah, I think I was, like, just struggling with, like, how am I supposed to teach, like, this little girl, like, you know, how to grow up to be, like, you know.
Yeah.
Like, to, like, embrace femininity. So I think like, that fearful part also made me, like, want to be in denial that it was a girl. Then I was like, that's I really want a boy because it's easier to raise.
It's easier to just give him some dirt and a diaper and he'll be fine.
Yeah.
I agree. No, I do. I did. I've always wanted a girl, so I was very happy. It was pretty cool. So the way we actually found out that it was a girl is, you know, they give you the results. Like, our clinic gave us the results on an app, and it's like, oh, click here to find out, you know, the gender. So we clicked on it, and we're expecting, like, you know, blue or pink screen or whatever it was. And it's like, okay, please scroll down to find out the gender. So we start scrolling on this like this big old form, and we're scrolling and we're like, what the heck? Like, it's blank. And then like 10 seconds pass and it goes, oh, like it's like, oh, we're gonna
like keep on scrolling.
Oh, keep on scrolling, yeah. And you keep going, you're scrolling. Oh, you know, it's kind of cute, you know, a little surprise. You're scrolling for another like 20 seconds. I'm like, what the heck?
It was like 5 minutes of like scrolling. It was just
long.
Like till we got to like the end.
Yeah, it's like you're halfway there. You're a quarter of the way there.
Like
you're halfway
almost.
there.
And there's like 3.
Oh, yeah, 3. 2. And then 3. 2. And it's like, what the heck? Where's the answer? And then it goes, it's a girl. I was like, bro.
Yeah, I think we like both like freaked out. We're like, what the heck?
Yeah, that was funny. Oh, but I love it. So I'm excited for a little girl.
I'm excited too. Like now I feel like I've come to like, okay, like I prayed about it. Like I feel more confident. Like I'm
not in denial anymore.
I'm not in denial anymore. Her clothes are all pink. I've been thrifting. It's been fun.
It's been fun. That's very nice. Mia found like this really pink jacket for this baby. I was like, boy, what if this girl's like a chunky girl? She can't even wear it.
She's not gonna be chunky.
Imagine she's like huge, like a butterball turkey.
I hope not.
Well, I mean, we're not big people in general. I'm 5'10", Mia's 5'2". We're not that big.
She better not be big. I don't know how
I
she's
like
coming out.
girl, big leg. I like, where'd you get that way from?
The quesadillas.
Oh, yes,
Oreos.
quesadillas and pizza.
And Cheetos.
That's a little callback to the first podcast. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I am excited. I am excited to have a little girl.
Who in our family do you think is the most excited?
From both of our families?
Yeah.
My dad.
I feel like my mom is the most excited too.
Yeah, my dad loves babies.
He does. Like today at church, he was walking around like, you know, like one of our worship leaders' baby. And he's like walks outside and he's like, I had a baby. And she's just sitting like all happy, like he's like holding her. I'm like, where the heck did you get a baby
I was
from?
like, sir? I was like, you are lucky you're head of security. If not, I'll just grab people's babies.
Yeah, it is funny though. Because like you just see him at church like randomly holding babies. You're like, whose baby is that?
Yeah. Mind you, that baby is very, very cute. She's a very gorgeous little girl.
Yeah. And my mom is just excited to go shopping. Like she was like, like excited like to buy stuff and
yeah. No, yeah, my dad loves babies. Like he just likes holding them. He's like, okay, you can back to me. No. So we'll see.
I think your sister's also very excited.
My little sister,
Right.
yeah, I think so too.
Like, what should we name the baby?
Yeah, what should we name the baby? Choriza. So, oh, it's a joke. My little brother, we have twins, a boy and a girl.
He carries this like big dragon stuffed animal.
Stuffed-
It's like big.
It's like
Probably like the size of this pillow.
maybe a little bit bigger than this pillow.
It's huge. And
But
he
he-
takes it everywhere.
Yeah, it's a green dragon pillow, and it's called chorizo. And
He treats it like it's his kid. Like he
Yeah,
goes
he's
on
a-
vacation with them. He comes to church
he
on
takes photos
Sundays.
with him. He poses with him. He dresses him up. He puts sunglasses on his thing. He's basically a part of the family now. So we were in the car. It was me, Mia, and my little sister, and we we were talking about names. And I had gone into the store. I think I'd pulled over into like a Walgreens or something, and she goes. I get back in the car and she goes, "We know the baby's name." I was like, "Oh yeah, what is it?" And my sister goes, "Oh, the baby's name is Choriza." I was like, "Choriza?" I was like, "Isn't that the name of the dragon?" It's like, "No, it's Chorizo." I was like, no, the baby's not gonna be named as the female version of a dragon."
Yeah, that's funny. Like she like said it. She's like, "Oh, do you guys have any names?" And I was like, "Oh, not yet." She was okay. I have one. It's like, "What is
Choriza.
it?" It's like choriza. And I was like, "Oh my god."
You're like, no, not that one.
Like chorizo and choriza.
I was like, who's Chorizo? The stuffed animal.
Where's choriza? The baby?
The baby? Yeah, I think she was excited just because there's me more girls in the family, right? It's me, my dad, my two brothers, and then my mom and her. So I think that's also why. So we were very excited. Definitely nerve-wracking at first.
What are you most nervous about?
Nervous about? You know what's crazy is I'm not nervous about any of the like development things, like developmental stages, toddler, being a baby. I'm very nervous when she starts dating.
I was gonna say that's what you were talking about with your cousin today.
Yeah.
Like your cousin, because his cousin is also having a girl like a few months before us. So they were talking about it today, like, and it's his first girl too.
Yeah.
It's like they were both like saying like, oh, like, you know, now that they're like girl dads, like how it's gonna be so much different. Like for him when he's raising his boys, and then now that Angel has a girl.
Yeah. I think that's it's funny because I'm not nervous about like anything when it comes to, development stages. I have a great partner. But definitely the dating, I would be like, we'll see, definitely. I mean, we were also older when we started dating, so
Yeah, that is true.
we were dating when we were 21, so
Oh, I was 20.
I was 21.
You were 20 when I was 20.
Yeah, so I mean, we got some ways to go before then. What about you? What are you most nervous about?
I don't know. I feel like it's like, yeah, like once she hits like teenager, like puberty era,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just like, we always joke because like my mom like would always read this book to me and my sister, and I always tell them like I was like traumatized. And I feel like now like think of like having a girl, I'm just like, oh my god, how do I talk to her about
How do I
this?
talk to her without traumatizing
Yeah,
her?
how do I talk to her about like, and like I feel like I'm like a very awkward person, so I'm just like, oh god, this will be so, this will be weird.
Like,
But I think that's what I'm just nervous about. Like, how do I raise a girl?
yeah, definitely.
Like, I feel like the baby, like infant, toddler,
Yeah.
like I feel like I'll be okay with it. Like
Yeah.
once she starts getting sassy, I'm like, ooh, girl, you messing with the wrong mama.
Say it again. Say it again.
Yeah, I think that's the only part I'm nervous. I'm nervous about like raising her as a girl.
As she's older. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. The craziest thing is, girls mature so much faster than boys, right? So, technically speaking, that'll come a lot sooner than we think.
I know, yeah, I'm worried.
But then a little boy, maybe around 15, 16. A little girl, 12, 13.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll have to wait and see. To be continued. So, another question I have for you then is, what is something that you feel like you learned as you got older and you feel like you should have learned it earlier?
I feel like, well, so that's the hard part because I feel like I think my parents did really good like raising us. And I think I just didn't listen enough, or like it didn't really like it stuck with me, but I didn't want to apply it because like when you're a kid, you're just like I don't want to listen to my parents. Like what do they know?
Talking to me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I think like now that I look back, like something I really admire about them is that they always instilled like the Bible in us. Like especially my mom, like I really admire her because when we were younger, she worked 3 jobs and she was still raising 4 kids, like making sure we had homework, and then there was like like different things in our family that like she had to prioritize. And I just feel like I always admired that like she still made time for like devotions or like family prayer, or she was like the Sunday school teacher at our church. Like she would like invite us into Sunday school with her, so we would see her teach and like just hear her speak. And I just feel like I always admired that. Like she was never too busy to instill in us the word of God. Like even when me and my siblings would get into arguments, like she would prioritize like going back to scripture and like what does scripture say, or like when I was homeschooled and my mom was my teacher, like she would incorporate like the Bible in like all of our lessons. Like we would always it always went back to the word of God. And I feel like like when I grew up, like I just didn't like apply what I was learning.
Yeah.
And so I feel like now, like with my own daughter, like I think that's something that I really take from my parents. It's like, pointing everything
They're
back.
not listening? Gotcha.
No, that was not from my parents. That was from me. I think that's something I like want to take from my parents, right? Like pointing everything back to the Bible. Like, what does the Bible say? Like,
When the little girls be like, what is even the Bible?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think like, I would want for my daughter to not only hear the word, but to apply the word into her life, and
just hopefully
she listens to what we tell her. I think my parents did really good of instilling the word into us, but I mean it says it in Proverbs, right? Train up a child in the way that they should go, and when they get older they won't waver from it. Like a lot of people misinterpret that verse to say like if you train up your child in the word, then they're never going to walk away. Exactly. But that's not what what the verse means. The verse means like train up the child when they're younger so they soak it up all in, and then the Bible doesn't guarantee that the child is going to grow up in the faith, but the child guarantees that when the child does grow up, they're going to remember what was given to them as a younger kid. And I think that's conversations that me and my siblings have a lot. Like even though like we're all on our own separate paths of life, like we still remember like what our parents instilled into us.
Yeah.
And I think like that's the hope, like for my kid, right? Like like a lot of lessons in my life could have been avoided if I just applied what my parents had taught to me.
Yeah. And
I think like with our daughter, like I want her to know like like train her up in the word, but also like learn from like our mistakes, or learn from like what we've done and like how we lived our life, to know like, hey, you can avoid all these things if you just not even listen to us, just listen to the Bible. Like It's not even our instructions, like we're not telling her this, like this is the word of God. And I think like that's something like I learned, like, right, I should have just applied what my parents were teaching me. They weren't teaching it to me in vain, they were teaching it to me with purpose.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. But it's just getting that application piece right, instilled as fast as possible, right? But evidently, even us growing up, right, even myself, we'll waver with faith because we have to, test it for ourselves. So here's praying that she applies it. That Choriza applies it. She applies it well.
What's one of your
What's one of my
your
You're like a
your no-goes, like for like raising a kid? That makes sense.
Like, this girl can't do this at all.
Yeah. And like, what's one of your like must-haves?
Like, she has to do it.
Mm-hmm. Not like she has to do it, or like something like we have to do, or something we prioritize.
I think the one thing I do want to allow is, well, me and Miss Mia are very competitive.
I was gonna say, I already know your answer. I already know what he's gonna say. It's gonna be sports.
Yeah, me and Mia are very competitive, and we're not actually like sports oriented people. We're nerds, right? We like board games.
Yeah, like you didn't play sports growing up.
No, I didn't.
My entire family played sports growing up.
Yeah, yeah. You played volleyball. Oh, exactly. Okay, I'm the nerd. Let me rephrase. You played basketball. You played volleyball.
Yeah, my entire family played sports. That was like our bonding with my dad. Was like my dad would take us outside to the basketball court, and we would like go play basketball with him.
I did swimming and frisbee.
You sound like a nerd.
Yeah, I did swimming. I wasn't in any teams, but I did swim. I played frisbee. I really love playing like ultimate frisbee. So very not very Hispanic sports, I might say. Very a sport that's elevated in the Caucasian regions of the world. But no, definitely, yeah. So me and Miss Mia are very competitive, especially with board games. We get a little rough when it comes to it, if you will. Mia gets a little harsh. Mia goes, "I didn't marry no loser."
I didn't though.
I was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm losing the game."
I said that to him the first time at youth. Like we serve in our youth ministry at church, and like he was playing like a game with like the kids. And I remember, like, he was, like, losing or something. And I was, like, screaming, I didn't marry a loser. You better win. And all the kids, like, looked like, what the heck? Like, they were, like, so thrown out. I was like, no, I don't care if you guys are, like, 12 years old. I was like, he's beating you guys. Yeah. I was, like, so mad. I was like, why are you losing to 13-year-olds?
Ma'am, relax. I definitely... Oh, the other wire. No, 100%. So, what's something I will allow? The little girl has to play sports. I don't like to lose. So how we react if we do lose is something that we do have to work on. A no-go is kind of tricky for me. Well, what would you allow? And then I'll come back to me.
Allow?
Yeah, like what would you? Like,
I think I don't know if it's like controversial, but I don't know if it could be considered, but I think like nowadays like a lot of parents like will give into like their like kids like emotions like with church, like if their kids like, especially when they're older, like I'm not going to church, I don't want to go to church, like the parents like, okay, just stay home then. And I feel like that's going to be like an absolute like, you need to be at church with us. And I think like it's not even the fact that like you need to come to church, like I think it's just the fact of like instilling like community and like fellowship. Yeah. And like instilling like the love for God's people and God's church, right? Like I think it's something that's maybe not as emphasized. And I think it's a lot different for us because, you know, we serve at our church. So we're at church like 6 hours on a Sunday. Like, you know, we go to church on Friday nights to help with youth. Like, I know because like I grew up in church. Like I know how it could feel like, oh, we have to go to church again, like again. And we live down the street from the church. So like we were always at church. But I think like now that I look back, like I loved being at church. Like I loved being like all my friends were in church. Like, you know, like family, like friends parties, like that's where we'd go, like always be with the church. Yeah. And I think like, you know, as a kid, it doesn't always seem like, you know, the best, but I feel like now looking back, like I'm very grateful that my parents raised us in the church, because I think like, you know, what's the other alternative to church? Like, you know, they're gonna be out with their friends or like, you know, like doing stuff with like other people. And I just think like in any other community, like I would want to prioritize them growing up in a church community. Like at least I know like those are the people we do life with, those are the people like we have the same like values and beliefs as them. So I feel like that's one of like my absolute musts is like, you know, you're going to church. Like I don't care if I'm dragging you in there. Like
so the thing that you want for definite is you're going to church.
Yeah.
For any time.
Yeah.
Even if your dad says he's sick, can't make it to church.
No, everybody in this house is going to church. Everybody's getting their butt up and going to church.
Go take a shower.
Yeah. I think that's just one of my like.
Yeah.
That's not one of the things I wait for.
I remember like, I don't know if this is maybe something I heard, but I remember growing up like there would be like scenarios where, you know, kids, you know, the parents wouldn't allow the kids to go to church. And that's when like, you know, if they were older kids and they're, you know, going to school, their friends would live like a few houses down, like they would sneak out, right? It's like, boy, it's 9 o'clock in the morning, like what are you talking about? But it's just building, I think it's also building that, not just a habit, but I think it's just understanding, like kind of like you said, like the little community aspect to it. There's a little bit more than just, oh, getting up and going to church. It's no, get up, try to dress your best, and understand that you're going to...
Emphasis on the dress your best.
Emphasis on dress your best. Angel does not dress his best. Miss Mia always looks amazing. But yeah, emphasis on dress the best. But definitely, it's just building that, hey, like, listen, we're not going just to go. We're going for a reason. And I think you're right there. I don't know if this is a no-no, but heavily monitor social media. Yeah, I think growing up, it was so different for us because we grew up in the, like, we're early 2000s, so.
Like, we were there before, like, cell phones.
Before cell phones came out.
Yeah, like before they blew up.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, we knew what it was like to be outside playing all day.
Sure,
yeah.
Yeah. So it is an interesting transition. Like, I think my parents did a really good job. Looking, at the time I was mad, but looking back now, I think my parents did an amazing job with the transition from me getting my cell phone to, getting social media. I didn't get social media till I was about, I don't know, maybe like 14, 15 years old. But it's true. Like, it's just dumb. Like, I don't know. Like, even now, like, you see social media and, like, the place that it's at. And while it's a great tool, yes, it can be a tool that absolutely destroys. So I think the emphasis on just social media, the ability to just be on the internet, without any restrictions. It's just something, like, I just don't get, like, personal, and this is a personal take, especially if you're right, I'm not a parent yet, but I do know, especially with our youth that we work with, and just, the kids that you see, full exposure to the internet at 12 years old is never okay. Like, and even for us, like, even the emphasis on, having a little boy or a little girl just constantly on the screen. And even for me, like, I'll be on a screen I work at a computer all day, and my eyes are burning. Like, I'm tired of this, so even you see, like, these little kids just playing on these tablets, and, it's just like, no, like, there has to be an emphasis on communication. There has to be an emphasis on, kids not liking each other. It's normal, right? It's human nature. You're not going to like everybody you see, but you have to build those characteristics, especially as a baby, as a little boy or little girl growing up, just not being so consumed by all this, dopamine release.
Yeah, I think that was going to be, like, because I had two, like, of my no-goes that, like, I thought of right away, but one of them was, like limited screen time. Like, I feel like a lot of parents, like, say that, like, that's something that they always want to prioritize.
Yeah.
But then I feel, well, I mean, again, I'm not a parent, so I can't really, like, say anything. I'm not saying it to be judgeful, but I feel like a lot of people, like, just give in because it's a lot easier. Like,
it is so much easier.
Even, like, at my work, like, with my students, like, it's so much easier to have my students just go on, like, their Chromebook, like, to take a YouTube break, or, like, even, like, my after-school students, like, it was so much easier for them to just be on their, like, computers versus, like, me planning activities for them to be doing. And I see, like, even my students, like, from, like, the youngest of, like, 6 years old, like, in kindergarten, like, you see it so evidently. Like, you take away a computer from them and they just, like, don't know how to act, like, whatsoever. And I think, like, even, like, it even has to go with, like, the TV shows, like, they're watching, like, the high dopamine releases. Like, I think it's just, like there's not really a necessity for them to be, like, that exposed to that much, like,
100%,
stimulation or anything
100%.
like that. Like, they just get so, like, irritated, and then they have no attention span. Yeah, and, like, even that, like, it's just, like, it's so crazy.
It is so crazy. I mean, you think about it, it's like, that's how adults are, right? Some adults can't handle you think about it, like, I have friends or coworkers and just, like, mindlessly scrolling. You look at your
your screen time.
I always look at my screen time. It's like 12 hours. Like, what do you mean 12 hours? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, like, if we can't even regulate it as adults, how do you expect? And even then, like, I feel like I get, like, nervous a lot because, like, I, like, YouTube, like, even, like, YouTube Kids is not filtered or, like, censored.
100%.
Like, even, like, something can be posed to something else, like, and it's just so, like, scary, like, to, like, I don't know. I feel like that's one of, like, my biggest, like, no-goes is, like, just, like, unmonitored screen time. Like, that was the first no-go I thought of. And, like, the second no-go I thought of, like, right away was, like, sleepovers. Like,
yeah, my parents weren't big on sleepovers either.
I only slept over at, like, my grandma's house or, like our really close family friends, like, that my mom really trusted.
Yeah. I know you're right, because I think even for me, I've only went to one sleepover at a friend's house. There's a church friend. And then I was older. I think I was, like, 15, 16.
Your cousin?
And then my cousin as well. No, that's two separate ones.
Oh.
Yeah. Geesh, I have friends sometimes. Yeah, and then my cousin's house, but I was a lot older at that point. I think I was like 17. So, I mean, you know, it's a little bit different, but definitely, yeah, man. I mean, social media and sleepovers, that's a pair for destruction there.
And then I think even like social media today, like we said, is so much different from when we were younger, because we even noticed it like
Yeah, I had Free Shabakadoo.
the kids,
The
like
Vines.
the kids now like are so much more like self-conscious.
Yeah.
Because like everything is posted on social media, like versus
100%.
like when we were younger, like we didn't care how we looked in social media. Like we looked stupid or like make dumb faces, or we do like the ugliest Snapchat filters. Like we did not care. Versus like today, like everything is about like being aesthetic and like looking like, you know, pretty, or like having this like nice like profile, like
Yeah.
all these different things. And I think like we even talk about it like in our youth ministry, like the kids never want to be on camera with us. Like like they are
Yeah,
so
like, oh, my fit's not
yeah,
ready
like
for this.
yeah.
Your fit? Like, boy, I'm in joggers and, you know, this a holy t-shirt.
Literally. Or like I point the camera at them and they start like running away from me, and I'm like, what the heck? But it's just like they're like so much more like hyper aware of how they look,
Yeah.
and I feel like it's just so much more damaging to like their self-esteem.
Yeah, it's funny because, you know, like I look at my age, I was 12, I was a fat little 12-year-old.
Yeah,
You know,
like I mean we were self-conscious, but like we were like
yeah, like I'm fat. Like, what do you
like,
want to do? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I'll lose the weight, you know, but I was a happy fat-year-old. No, but it's true, though. There's just so much, and it's so damaging because it's just like, wow, like, and it makes matters worse when there's not, you know, that, I guess I got to say it, right? There's not that confidence booster at home, right? If your mother or your father or sibling, you know, are not giving you that confidence, even though like social media is, you know, already bringing it down, that can be kind of detrimental as well. I think we're gonna leave it off there, guys. We want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for watching in the AM with Angel and Mia. I hope you guys are enjoying this podcast. If you guys like it, like and subscribe. Go ahead and share with any of your friends, family. Deeply appreciate it. And if you're someone that we know, please go ahead and comment. And if any of the kids from youth are watching,
we love you guys.
sometimes we love you. Sometimes we don't.
Except for when you beat my husband in games.
Yeah,
Then
exactly.
I don't love you no more.
If you beat me in a youth game, we got some issues. Make sure you monitor your social media. No. Take care, guys. Be blessed. We'll see you next time. Bye.